Chuck, I don't know what cut this is, but I'll just hold up 5 fingers so you can identify it. 5, there we go. This is the same, this is that one. All right. So, all right, here we go. And sync. Boing. I don't think we need much of a sync here because I'm just going to be talking to that camera. I actually, you know, I'm just going to shut this other camera off. So there's only one take. We don't need a sync on this. All right. And stop that. Okay. So yeah, this is just a single one. Okay, here we go. Ready? So, it was interesting being a LRRP. Let me, hope you don't mind, I'm going to have a beer and I'll tell you how I got in the LRRPs, kind of by hook and by crook. My buddy John Berg, he was an original. He, down in Fort Riley, when they picked guys to be in it, this was, you know, he was an original. I was a replacement. I went over there in February, just after TET of '68. I had enlisted Airborne Radio Code because I wanted to go in Special Forces. I picked Radio Code because I figured, you know, I'm no great physical specimen, and all the macho guys, they're going to want weapons, explosives, all, you know, they're going to want all the jazzy stuff. So I think the least popular thing will be Radio Code, and so I enlisted Airborne Radio Code with the hopes that I would end up getting into Special Forces. And Fort Lost in the Woods, Missouri, my company commander taught me into going to OCS, and that's where two fools met because I was not officer material. I didn't know. And I made it halfway through OCS. I was 6th in my platoon academically. I'd maxed the PT test a few times, but I had a mouth. You can't ask the kind of questions I asked. Everybody's their own worst enemy, and I'm no exception, and that plagued me in Vietnam too. Anyway, so I got levied to go to Vietnam, and I went through the 90th replacement, the Rebel Depot there, and I mentioned to you that we did 11 days at KP in Saigon, and then I was assigned to the 9th Division. 9th Division? Who are they? I never heard of them. All right. They were in World War II. They were a good unit. Okay, so anyway, I get down to Bearcat, north of Saigon, and I'm going through the infantry school or the division school. It's 5 days of welcome to Vietnam. It's hot and you might get killed, you know. And so one day we were in the bleachers at a demolition class about explosives and stuff. And everybody has to go, whether you're going to be a clerk, cook, bottle washer, whatever. Everybody had to go through these first 5 days. Okay, so we're sitting in the bleachers. I've been in Germany since '66, so I kind of missed out on the summer of love and didn't know quite what was going on in the States, and all of a sudden here I am with guys. The majority of those people, it's how long you been in the Army, soldier? All day, sir, and here I am in Vietnam. And so I'm already tactical in the bleachers. I got a couple guys outside of me. I got a couple rows to the top. I can bail out in 2 different directions because we may be in a base camp, but we're in Vietnam and shit happens. And so, okay, so it was a demolition class. And I remember this sergeant, as we walked in, had a duck to go under a clothesline. They wanted it that way. And there was a t-shirt and blue jeans hanging on the clothesline. All right, so it's hot, and the kids are going, and I'm 21, these guys are 19, 18, excuse me. And all of a sudden, he goes, and over here, we have this thing called det cord. He was standing at a podium, and he pressed a button, and the clothesline exploded. Boom! And whoa, that got everybody's attention. He goes, I wanted to wake you up because you're going to your units day after tomorrow or whenever it was, and then in 3 days. But I guarantee you that within 5 days, some of you are going to be dead because you're not listening to me right here, right now in this class. And I looked down and I saw too many guys going, oh man, why do we have to listen? I went, I got the willies. I said, I do not want to go to the field with these kids. I just, oh boy. And because in Vietnam, so many things are fatal on first contact. You never heard of such a thing, and now you're dead. If you're lucky enough to see it happen to somebody else, you're off and running. And then that's when you go in the Flower Power Shower Tower at night with the LRRPs and tell them about it. This is what I learned today, you know. Okay, so anyway, the very next class, this guy come down wearing this funny looking beret, and he goes, yeah, we got this new thing. It's called the Long Range Patrol. And we go out in 5-man teams, and or they do other stuff too, but he was, and we go out in 5-man teams and just sneaky Pete around in the you know, and play Charlie's game with them, and these kids with their hair standing on end, they're going, whoa, 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 whoa. And then he said, and we never have more than one new man on a mission. And I went, I'm your boy. And so if you got to be there, I want to hang out with the best that I can, you know. Okay, so when that class was over, he went on and we had whatever class that was. I can't remember because I wasn't thinking about that class. I'm thinking, yeah, this is as close to Special Forces I'm ever going to get, you know. And so when they took off to go to the next class, I just ghosted. I disappeared and went down and asked around, okay, where's the Long Range Patrol at? Oh, down there. And I've just made my way, finally got there, and walked in, and there stood Captain Matsuda. That's the only time I ever met him. I says, he didn't have a shirt on. And I said, are you a LRRP? He went, yeah. Oh, he was the LRRP. He was the company commander. And where's your early room? Over there. All right, so I went in, talked to First Sergeant Jones, and First Sergeant Jones had been in World War II, and I think Korea too. Anyway, I said, hey, you know, and I pled my case that I want to be in. Okay, well, we'll get your 201 file and so, and because the records were in division, and he says, yeah, well, filled out the papers, and I'm applied for the LRRPs, you know, and then it was time for a shipment, and I ain't going, you know. And my friend Harmon, I'd been with him in Germany, and Baker, this other guy that we hooked up with, I was saying goodbye to them. There's all kinds of trucks backed up to an area, and this warrant officer, he's got the manifest, and he's standing by this one truck, and I'm talking to Harmon, and he goes, McConkey. I didn't answer. And he sees my name tag. He goes, McConkey, is this you? And I said, yes, sir. He says, why aren't you on that truck? And I went, well, I'm not going, sir. And I remember he went, you're not going? And boy, did I start talking. Yes, sir, I got my papers in for the LRRPs, you know, I'm supposed to go to C Company, 5th to the 60th. And by the way, you can look them up online too. I would have been proud to be in that unit. They were called the Charlie Banditos. Look up C Company, 5th to the 60th. I heard about those guys. They were crackerjack. I would have been proud to serve with the Charlie Banditos. Okay, so I says, no, I got my papers in for the LRRPs, and you know darn well, once I get out to a regular unit, if I tell them that I've applied, or even if the LRRPs call, they're going to say they're short-handed, they can't let me go, and blah, 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 blah. And he goes, you know, it wouldn't happen, but according to the rules of what you're doing here, as soon as that truck gets out there to Rakhine or wherever they were going, as soon as that truck gets there, and you're on the manifest, but you're not in that truck. You are AWOL in the face of combat duty. Technically, it won't happen, but technically, they can shoot you for this. This is the kind of thing we're talking about, you know. At least you'll be going to LBJ until it gets straightened out. And I went, well, and he goes, if I put you on that truck, and I hadn't thought of this, but he says, if I put you on that truck, you're probably just going to jump off before it leaves post, aren't you? I went, well, probably, sir. I went, thank you. And he goes, you know what you're doing? I said, well, I think so, sir. He says, all right. And he let it, I could have kissed him. He walked away. He let it slide. Boy, I turned right around and went back down for Sergeant Jones at the LRRPs. And I said, no, I just missed shipment to C Company 5th to 60th. And if the MPs find me or whatever happened, you know, then I'm going to go to LBJ at Long Bin Junction with Long Bin Jail, LBJ. I'm going to go to LBJ and you're going to miss a pretty good man. What do you think? Bragging, you know, because I wanted to be alert. And it's so, and he had my file in the top drawer. It had come down from division. He went and he got the company clerk. He goes, here, hand carry this through division. And he says, now it's going to take a couple, 3 days, but we're going to go through and we're going to get this all done instead of a long time. It's going to happen quick. So don't go on main post. Stay here. Just hide out here in our company area and it'll be cool. You know, just hang out here and it'll happen. So that's how I first encountered the infamous Wayne Fentress, who became one of my dearest friends. God rest his soul. He's passed away now, but Fentress was something. And him and Jeff Cohart, I went into this barracks, just picked a barracks, and took my poncho liner and I laid it down on the cement. And I'm just gonna. He goes, "What are you doing? Hey, who are you?" I go, "Well, I'm going to be in this company, and I'm just supposed to hang out here." He says, "You can't sleep on the floor." I went, "Well, yeah, but there's no more bed. Come on, you know." So they went next door, stepped the wire down, went into the barracks of the headquarters company. I think it was headquarters company. Anyway, went into the barracks, and him and Jeff, they stole the dang bed. I said, "You can't do that." He goes, "The hell we can't. We're LRRPs." And so I had a bed. I had a bed and a mattress, and yeah, that was cool. That was cool. And so while I'm hanging out there, you know, again, under the category of everyone is their own worst enemy, and I'm no exception. I'm walking around one day and I hear a basketball. Oh, that's music to my ears, you know. And I went over and here's they got it's like a volleyball court and the net's down and they got a basket and they're playing shirts and skins, 4-on-4. And sure enough, there's another extra guy and I walk up and, "Hey, you, get in here," you know. Okay, fine, you know. And there was a guy who was clowning around. I should have realized that it wasn't that serious of a game. And every time he'd miss a shot, he'd go, "Oh, you fouled me," and this and that. I just wasn't hip to what was going on. And finally, wanting to introduce myself and my sense of fair play to these guys who are going to be my comrades in arms, I said, "Hey, buddy, hey, buddy, why don't you either call the fouls or forget them?" And put the ball into his arm, walked up to me. He was a little taller than me, and we never did see eye to eye. Looked down at me, and the guy grabbed me, and he goes, "That's Lieutenant Dickey. He's going home on leave, and when he comes back, he's going to be company commander." Oh yeah, I was on the permanent shit list in the orderly room before I ever checked into the company. But it's cool. It's cool. You know, that was a long time ago, and it was my fault. You know, absolutely. But that's how I got into the LRRPs, by just wanting to be there because I figured out that they were the best. Those were the general's handpicked 120. Well, he didn't handpick me. I snuck in through the back door, but nonetheless, I got to be there, and I'm proud of it. And thanks for listening.